a lot of that right there, that pressure, that working for Miss Ann, and then also the correlation with Jim Crow law right there, you know, I mean, I just knockout punch you asked me.
I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Barbara Gadabaku, one of the founders of Women in Conversation. What you touch on there is a very basic and traditional health issue
Sure.
within our community. And when you stop to think of two things that come to mind right away, and one is the fact that these women were the ones who cooked.
Sure.
They cooked the food, so
Yes.
of course you know they cooked good food,
Sure.
so they were going to eat their good food.
Right, sure, sure.
And then the other thing is that of the diet of these people who were oppressed like
Sure,
that.
sure.
They always they got all of the leftovers from and fed a lot of pork,
Sure,
and
sure.
that was not good for. That's not good, and we know even today
Sure,
that the
sure.
health issues in terms of hypertension
Sure, sure,
and
sure.
and all stem from our basic diet.
I get, and the point I guess I was trying to touch on too was that the idea that you are basically in a situation that you see no way out. You need your job. Then when you come outside, you're reminded of basically that could it be right because you still had colored over here, white over there. You know, and psychologically that plays. You know, after a while, you know, people start believing that. I mean, that is actually the law and things of that nature. So somehow we're gonna, you know, we're not trying to beat up anybody. We're trying to figure out how we're gonna breed our minds from that, and just to look back at that and just say, hey, you know, the words of Tiger Woods' father, you know, what have you learned? You see, so we got to learn something. But let me go to Reverend Summers and everything and talk about also what's going on in the community. Can you give me the mic there? What's going on in the community with the rallies and the crime and everything?
Well, Reverend Jackson, so far so good. The police is doing their job. They have the mobilized command unit out.
Sure, I see it.
They have the patrol cars, police on patrol, day in and day out. Down in the West End, everything is kind of slowing down for right now as we see. There's a lot of things that's been going on. There is a change, and I see the change is coming in real slow. Slowly but surely, there is a change. The Plainfield Housing Authority, where me and my wife preside, they have young people cleaning up the area during the day. And my job is, when I'm out, I congratulate them, you know, fine job, you know, keep up the good work, you know, stay out of trouble, you know, let them know to stay out of trouble, you know, keep your mind, you know, on what you're doing,
Sure.
you know, and this is what you ought to be doing, you know, instead of shooting up each other or killing each other for no apparent reason. The parents,
Basically, yeah.
I have spoken to several parents, and just to let them know that if the parents of this community and the residents of Plainfield, New Jersey would come together and just encourage their child or just come together and just talk and find out what can be done, what can we really do to stop all this crime, you know. And I think Barack Obama is doing a heck of a good job since being president. They wanted to get rid of him about a year ago, whatever, but they re-elected him as president. And as for our mayor, Mayor
Sharon
Robinson
Briggs.
Briggs, she's also doing a good job.
Yes, sure.
She can't do it all, everything that comes across her desk. But what she can do, you know, and with the help of the community behind her and the police behind her and everybody sticking together, coming together as one, joining together as a community, we can clean this up. We can clean the streets up in the city of Plainfield.
And the streets meaning also that we have to look, not just Plainfield, because this problem is in every state in the union. There's, you know, when you have these problems like this right here, you can't just isolate it to one. It's everywhere, and somehow we got off track. Let's go back to the book, and you guys got something to give, you know, about the book. Okay,
You know, one of the things that just occurred to me while we were sitting here, I hadn't thought about this before, but in the book, they applaud the black cooks so much, and they were considered the best cooks.
The help.
Now, the help, they were considered the best cooks. Now we have all these cooking shows on TV, but very few black cooks.
Yeah, well, you know,
Very few.
I guess one of the reason could be that we don't step up to it. You see, you have to step up. No one, you know, if you got something good going on, no one's gonna give you. You understand? You gotta step up. You understand me? You gotta step up to it. You know what I mean? You know, we're not stepping up. We're not, you know, because you know, I mean, you would think that we would have a lot more black eateries around too, you know, but we gotta step up to it.
The one thing that I'd like to say about the book that I found so really inspiring, it is a book of freedom.
Mm-hmm.
That in the end, everybody is freed up,
Sure.
and that was the most remarkable feeling, to know that no matter what the state or what the role that people played throughout the entire book, that in the end there was a sense of freedom. Freedom from not only physical shackles,
Mm-hmm.
but mental shackles.
Sure.
And before we really have to leave, I want to just put in a plug for Women in Conversation. This is a club that's 12 years old, and we're in Plainfield. And once a month we come together and we read these books, and we really get a lot of inspiration from our meeting. We have girls, boys, women, men, and seniors in conversation. Those groups meet monthly at Grace Episcopal Church the last Tuesday of the month. And I want to invite people to come and join us and start reading. It's a wonderful pastime. From 6:30 to 8:30, the last Tuesday of the month of every month from September to June. Our first meeting of the year will be September 28th.
I have a question to you ladies. The ladies was good cooks. But because of that was basically the only job that they probably could get at that time. Have our women breaded away from cooking because of that? Is there a negative connotation come with being able to cook? Because we find so many women today that don't even, have a kitchen, even.
A very interesting question.
Bob, I'm gonna need y'all. Help me help me out. Get the car started. Get the car started. All right.
You gonna start the trouble.
Okay. Get the car started. Get the car started. All right.
I just wanted to point out that that my daughter just got married in November.
Okay.
And she does not cook.
Wow.
I did not teach her to cook.
Oh, okay.
And not for any reason that I thought she might get a maid as soon as she was able to, or get a cook
Right.
of her own. I just never took the time to teach her how to cook. Now her husband is a very good cook,
Okay.
and that's okay. Let the men can cook just as well as the women can.
Amen.
So I don't see that as a negative.
Right.
That some of us
Amen.
cannot cook. My mother taught me to cook, but I did not teach my daughter to. But I want to go back to Linda's comment.
If you gotta go off, Bob, go ahead off. We're gonna keep on rolling.
Briefly, just want to go back to her comment about the women. The maids were very good cooks. They were also very good nannies.
Definitely, yes.
Aileen raised 17 children, and they, for what I could gather from the story, they all did well. They came out well, and it was to her credit that she was good with these children, because I think that
All right.
that it was. I mean, read the book.
Okay.
Read the book.
Okay, go ahead, Bob. Bring it on.
You've been listening to the Town Talker with Reverend Zachariah A. Jackson, founding pastor of the Church of What's Happening Now in Plainfield, New Jersey. If you'd like to contact Reverend Jackson, call 908-361-2761